for the wedding, now we are planning for divorce, and now the life has all become discombobulated because it is no longer smooth sailing. It is no longer predictable. It's not black or white, right or wrong, up or down, in or out. It's complicated. If you ever told your life story, oh, your mama was a good woman. Yes, she was a great woman, a wonderful woman, wonderful woman. It's complicated. I had a good childhood. I'm strong. Yeah, I'm so old. Yeah, so man, well, the reason I did that, that part right there, I'm strong about most stuff, but life is complicated. The Virgin teaches us how to be consistent when life is complicated. How to be steadfast and abounding in the purpose of God while you are confused and pondering in your heart, what in the world is going on in my life? And then when I think about it, I think, God, if you're going to bring your son into the world for the first time, why is he not born in a palace, escorted by angels in a palatial environment? Why would you choose the opposite? The desolate, the dank, the decrepit, the disturbing. Christ the Lord is born in a messy relationship by a couple on the run, and a pregnant, sweating woman gives birth to a holy child, doesn't even have any clothes to wrap around him, takes the milk rags with the sour milk expelled from the cows and wraps the milk of the word in the milk of the cows. What you call swaddling clothes were milk rags laying around in the barn, and God chose this method to make his entrance. And you see, you can have favor, but that doesn't mean you don't have fear. You can have all the favor you want to, but you're going to have some frustration. Don't you sit there for one moment with your pretty self acting like your life was a straight line of unchallenged successes. How dare you sit there beside your little sweet muffin and act like you were always right. I'm right and he's wrong. It's amazing counseling couples. They come in your office and they've already decided who's right and who's wrong, so they have predetermined scripts, not knowing that everybody thinks they're right. And when you really begin to unravel it, both of them are a little bit right and a little bit wrong. And such is life. It's this complicated situation. And the Virgin Mary teaches us that you can have a visitation from an angel and still ride on a donkey. That the Holy Ghost can come upon you and you can still have no place to stay. That which is within you can be conceived by the Holy Ghost, and that is around you can be demonic and angry and ready to give up and walk out the door. And your job, should you choose to accept it, is to survive it all. Oh, do you hear what I'm saying to you this morning? when God chose this woman to have his son, it is not her holiness, but his. It is her tenacity. This is a ride or die woman. This is a come hell or high water woman. This is a woman who will be consistent even when she is confused. This is a woman who will not drop the assignment because the road has gotten rough. Oh God, y'all don't hear what I'm saying to you. I think her virginity is a distraction from her tenacity. You can find a well back then. You can. It was easier to find a virgin woman than a tenacious woman. One thing about Mary, she was a tenacious woman. I'm pregnant. I'm going to have this baby. She births this baby in a barn with cows lowing, spiders running, rats looking. She birthed her baby in a barn, snatches him up and runs like a convict, escaping the pursuant eyes of Herod. Down she goes into Egypt, and now she's living on the run. How can I have favor and I'm spending 2 years on the run, hiding my trail in my tracks, hiding my baby, muffling his mouth? Don't cry right now. They cannot find me. They hid the baby Jesus in Egypt for 2 years because her baby was born with a bounty on his head. How, if I'm favored, how can my child be? And so I ask you this morning, can God trust you with trouble? Or are you only here for the ride? For the thrill, for the good time. You show up for the party, not the problem. The blessing, not the burden. Can God trust you? With trouble, with toughness, with chaos. I'm not asking you, can God trust you with good kids? Can God? God trusts you with loneliness and disappointment and disparity and aggravations. And will you keep riding while you're running through Egypt? Can you be favored and frustrated and still stand there and be fighting anyhow? Come hell or high water. Can God trust you with trouble? You didn't tell me that I was going to have to spend 2 years in Egypt hiding and ducking from the police. You didn't tell me that I was going to have this baby in a barn. You didn't tell me that you would give me a man I couldn't enjoy and a child I couldn't show off and a life that I couldn't rest in. You didn't tell me when you said I was highly favored that I would go through all kinds of hell. You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me that when you trust me with your son, you were trusting me with trouble. That all my plans would be disrupted. That I would live the rest of my life affected by a decision I didn't even get to make. You didn't tell me.